Yo, what up? Yo, it's your boy Shady C here. So, I'm not shifting completely away from my previous videos, but I want to start doing more videos focused and geared towards travel since I do have a job now, a decent job. I want to start saving for another trip, not the Chris Jericho cruise, but just another trip in general. So, a friend of mine asked me a little bit ago, said, he doesn't live in Florida, by the way, lives in New York, asked me, really, what is the difference between Florida and the Bahamas? So I thought I'd make a video on it after explaining it to him. He's like, well, they both got nice beaches, right? And so yeah, I figured I would get into this for you, for those of you who don't live in Florida or haven't been to the Bahamas. I mean, the beaches, yeah, are similar. The difference is the water in the Bahamas is a lot more crystal clear. And they have white sand beaches. As a Florida native who loves my beaches, I love the Florida beaches. I've never seen a white sand beach. Also, another difference, if you're coming from out of state, is the all-inclusive. Most resorts in the Bahamas, I won't say all because I know there's a few. The British Hilton on the island of, was that Nassau? Yeah, on the island of I think it's Nassau, is not all-inclusive. They give you a credit. Hey, I've memorized most of this stuff. They give you a credit. But for the vast majority of islands, I mean, for resorts in the Caribbean in general, are all-inclusive. And they're not much. I mean, there are some high-end ones, but for the most part, regular ones, I think they're about the same price as what you would get here, what you would get in the U.S. Some may be a little more, but not crazy. For example, there's a resort here in Florida, near the Orlando area, called Club Med Sandpiper Bay. And I had wanted to stay there at one point. So I called them. Now the prices could be different now, I don't know. But I called them. I wanted to see how much it was. And $400 a day. $400 a day? Are you bringing a concubine to the room for me? Yes, I did actually say that. I didn't say concubine. I said, are you bringing a woman to the room for me? And the woman on the phone said, no, but we are the only all-inclusive in Florida. I said, yeah, but you're not the only all-inclusive in the area. Bahamas is not too far from Florida. In comparison, the one that I had went to, oh gosh, brain fart. Hold on, give me a minute. Grand Lacayan, sorry. All-inclusive, everything included, was $1,600 for 7 days. This includes the 2-day cruise. It was we were 4 days on the island. No, wait, we were 6 days, right? Yeah, because it was 7 days total. We were 6 days on the island. No, wait, no, sorry, 4 days on the island. 2 days on the ship. 6 days total. All inclusive on the island. $1,600 total. That's really not terrible when you include everything. This, some $400 a day, is crazy. Like that's basically like 3 days compared. So yeah, and they bragged about being the only all-inclusive in Florida, which I don't know if that's true. I mean, they're the only all-inclusive resort, but I have heard, don't know for a fact, that there are smaller dude ranches that include meals and drinks and whatnot. I wouldn't want to go to a dude ranch, though, I don't think. I mean, I'd like to visit one for a day, but I wouldn't want to stay overnight. But yeah, that's the difference, too, is the all-inclusive. Like, if you're going to come to Florida for vacation, and you go to a hotel, you're going to be paying for everything. Maybe some, you won't pay for food or whatnot. But for the most part, yes, you're paying for everything. If you go to the Bahamas, you're not paying for food. You're not paying for beverages if you stay in all-inclusive. And you're not paying for non-motorized water sports. That's another thing a lot of people don't know. If you're on a cruise ship, you want to do these excursions, which cost extra. Sometimes you want to do canoeing, or you want to do paddle boarding, and that's fine. But if you're at a resort, those things are included. Anything non-motorized is included. Motorized things are extra, but they're not much extra. It's a lot less than what you would pay if it was a cruise ship excursion. I would definitely recommend the Bahamas, man. You got it. Not saying you shouldn't come to Florida. Florida's great. I love Florida. Best state in the country. But if we're including the Bahamas, which is not part of America, you got to go to the Bahamas. It's so amazing. And not only that, another big thing too, it's different, is the whole vibe is different. The whole vibe of the island. Everyone's so laid back and cool that I met. Like, people talk about there being a high crime rate in the Bahamas. I never experienced that when I went there. And I've been there like, what, 4 times? 5 times? 5 times. And never once experienced that. Never experienced any sort of feeling of uneasiness or uncomfortableness or... There was a funny story on my second to last cruise. I met a woman and her husband, and originally she wanted to explore the island alone, but she was scared, so he came with her. He didn't want to go. He wanted to stay on the ship. And she said, she felt great out there. She said there was times where she would walk ahead of him. Because there was no problem. She said she never felt uneasy or uncomfortable or anything like that, which was cool. But I definitely recommend everybody, you gotta check out the Bahamas. My personal favorite island is Freeport. A lot of people don't like Freeport. That's because you have to understand, that was the island I was on when I spent 4 days. I think it was 4 nights, 5 days. That's why I keep getting confused. 4 nights, 5 days. But yeah, that was the island I fell in love with it being there. There's a lot of culture there, and there's a lot to do. Like, people don't understand that there really is. They have party boat excursions. They have like sightseeing. You want to see the town type excursions. They do have like swimming with dolphins type stuff excursions. There's a lot to do. I think it would be cool. Like, there are certain islands in the Bahamas you can connect to. Like, there's one, oh Lord, I can't remember the name of it, that you can take, like, a day trip to Nassau. You can't do that from Freeport. I don't know why. That'd be cool, though. They need to have that, because there's a lot to do in Nassau as well. There's a lot to do in the Bahamas in general. There's so much stuff going on over there. Again, you hear high crime reports. You hear it's unsafe. I didn't experience any of that. And other people I've met, both men and women, because, you come back from the cruise, you talk, how was your trip, blah, blah, blah. Never heard anyone say anything about feeling uneasy. The only thing I've heard complaints about from people, and I complain about as well, is the aggressive people at the port, trying to get you in their cab or trying to sell you things. That's pretty much it. That's the only thing that I've heard anyone say anything, like, negative about. That's kind of like, not necessarily ruined a vacation, but kind of like put a little damper on it a little bit. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to give y'all a little comparison there. Florida's beautiful. Florida's amazing, but it's not the Bahamas.